and I was killed. Oh, goodness me. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Oh boy. Wow. Okay, let's see if I can walk over there without oh my goodness, all of my cows are dead. Holy moly. That I wasn't expecting that to happen, obviously. This place is just decimated. I'm hoping I get all my stuff. Oh shoot, I'm in a hole. Alright, alright. Stuff, more stuff. More. Oh, Archmage. Okay, put my armor on. Armor. Okay. Well, yikes. That didn't do anything close to what I thought was going to happen. Let me just fix my inventory. Well, in the first place, as you can see, this is what the ritual does. It creates a big, gigantic ball of ores and stone and hurls it into the ground. It's a much bigger ball of stone than I was thinking it was going to be. Okay, so to get back to this, the Ritual of the Falling Tower, as I said, creates a meteor essentially that falls from the sky and strikes right above. Well, it comes down directly aimed at the Master Ritual Stone in the center of that Ritual of the Falling Tower. Now, it will actually stop when it hits a block above that ritual. That's why I had put that little stone platform above it. Unfortunately, the meteor that was created was bigger than what I was expecting. And what I thought was going to happen is that the bottom of the meteor would generate at where I put that little stone floor, if you will, or ceiling, if you will. But actually what it does, apparently that's where it puts the middle of the meteor. And so, yeah, not quite what I was intending, because I completely destroyed my ritual as well as somewhat decimated the landscape around here. But you can also see that what it creates is a big, giant meteor of stone and ores. And as you can see, this appears to be coal and iron ore. And that is what I can expect to get if I use stone as the reagent. Remember, I activated the ritual and then I threw a piece of stone onto it. And then so that generated this particular kind of meteor. But stone isn't the only reagent that we can throw on to the ritual to generate a meteor. But in order for me to try the ritual again, I'm going to have to A, build a whole new ritual, which means building some ritual stones, which I'll go and I'll do that in a bit. But I'm also going to want to clean up this meteor. I suppose I could just leave it here. Maybe I should just leave it here as a memory of me really screwing up. Oh goodness. Okay, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just leave it here. I don't have a huge need for coal and iron, so I may just leave it here. I don't necessarily know that I like all the holes that have been generated with in the ground here, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that there and make the ritual again. There is a hole in the factory that had to have come from the explosion, of course, that resulted when the meteor hit the ground, which is crazy in and of itself that there's one little tiny hole here. But what's better, all of my signs lost their identification mark. Somehow the explosion blew off all of the things that were on the signs. I don't even know how that's even possible. It's crazy. Well, I'm ready to try this again. I've made another 100 some odd ritual stones, master ritual, used my diviner, and made the ritual of the falling tower. And I realized that if I just put it up like this, I wouldn't have to worry about any blocks being in the way and blocking my ritual. So that was easy. That's why I did that up like that. And then you can see I've put a block way up here. It's about 30 some odd spaces above the center of the ritual. So hopefully that means this time the meteor thing will not break the ritual. At least that's my hope. So last time over there, we used stone as the reagent after activating the ritual. The second level allows us, requires a block of iron. Not second level, but the next higher powerful way of doing the ritual, however you might want to say that, uses a block of iron as the reagent. So I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure I don't have my magnetization ring on. I don't. So what I want to do is activate the ritual and then throw the block of iron on it. So I'm going to stand here and activate and drop the block of iron, and it's in there. And then I'm going to go a little bit far away because oh, okay, it worked that time. Good. You know, when this one hit, I was here, roughly in this area, and it killed me. So it wasn't like I got hit by the meteor itself, but it also managed to kill my cows, which were way over there. So I was a bit concerned that the ritual could hurt me worse than I was expecting. But this worked a little bit better. Now you can see this time, this ball, you can kind of tell, isn't as big as that one there. But it also has, let's call it some higher level ores. It also has a lot of ores, and there might not be any stone in the, there's some stone there. So you can see we've got, that looks like tin. Yes, we've got tin, we've got the iron, we've got redstone, there's gold, copper, lapis lazuli, and that might be it in this. So you can see there's a difference. When we only used stone as the reagent, we got coal and iron. Not terribly wonderfully great stuff. But using the block of iron, we got all of these great ores, a lot more iron even, a lot more densely packed, if you will. So what I need to do is mine up all of this, which I'm going to do right now, and we'll come back when it's done. Okay, I finished mining out the entire meteor or ball of ore, and this is what I ended up with. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 stacks of stone, which who really cares about that, but 2, nearly 3 stacks of redstone ore, nearly 2 of lapis, nearly an entire stack of gold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half stacks of iron, 2, 4, 6 stacks of copper, and 3.5 stacks of tin. And in addition, I kept being attacked by the geonax while I was mining. So as you can see, I got a little over a stack of nether quartz, and I got a pickaxe, enchanted pickaxe and an enchanted axe. So I went ahead and put that in there as well, since quite frankly, it wasn't technically from that meteor ball of ore, but I did get it because of it. So there you go. Well, we've done this ritual with a stone and with a block of iron. And the next way to do the ritual is with a diamond. Same as always, throw a diamond on top of the master ritual stone. That didn't work. Whoop. All right. Throw it on there like so. Hit it with awakened activation crystal. And uses 1,000,000 life power, but I just realized I screwed up and I dug out my platform that I had for it. Wasn't paying attention. I am an idiot. So I destroyed my ritual again. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. What's this down here, though? This is this the master ritual stone? No, it's one ritual stone, which somehow survived the impact. And all the flowers. Okay, well, I screwed up again. It's been a day or so since the last time I recorded, and I forgot what was going on. But anyway, you can kind of see here, this is a smaller one than the one created by the iron, the block of iron. Oh no, and my chest got blown up. Oh man. I am just, you know, I am not doing well. Okay, let me fix this. Okay, as I was saying, using a diamond created a smaller meteor than before, but as you can also see, there are diamond blocks and emerald blocks in here. So I'm going to mine these out and we'll see what I come up with. This is the haul from using a diamond in the ritual. You can see I got a little over a stack of diamond ore. Pretty nice. Oh yeah, that's right. A little under a stack of emerald ore. Much more stone. That meteor, if you will, did not have as many ores percentage-wise compared to the stone of it. And a little bit of iron ore and some nether quartz from fighting a couple of geonacs. Not nearly as many geonacs because there wasn't as much stuff to have to mine through. So at this point in time, I need to obtain a whole bunch of obsidian in order to do my next test. And obsidian just turns out to be quite a little bit of a pain. I really just have to go mine it. It's not difficult or anything, it's just time consuming. There's really only one way to make obsidian with the mods I have, and that's in the alchemic chemistry set with a water bucket and a lava bucket. But I don't really have a way of automating putting lava into buckets or putting water into buckets. So it's really not a feasible method for me to use. But I'm going to need a whole bunch of obsidian in order to build another one of these rituals, because once again I screwed up and let it get destroyed. But I will work on obtaining the obsidian. So what happens with me is I find out that there's no automatic way to create obsidian, and then I decide to make sure if that's true or not. I guess is the only way I can think of that. So as I mentioned before, the only way to make obsidian with the mods I have installed is a bucket of water, a bucket of lava in the alchemic chemistry set. Now I can't pipe fluids into the chemistry set. I did try that, so they do have to be buckets. It turns out that these here are tanks from Ender.io. And there's a fluid tank and a pressurized fluid tank. The difference being the fluid tank will hold 16 buckets of liquid and the pressurized fluid tank will hold 32 buckets of liquid. So here is a regular fluid tank, and as you can see, I've set up a reservoir next to it. And if you go into the configuration, right here you'll see that the fluid tank is set to pull water into it from the reservoir. Here I have pressurized fluid tank. You can see I have two more, and it was filled with lava. It's down to 2 buckets of lava left, and in between the alchemic chemistry set. So you see what happens is that lava bucket, water bucket go in, creates obsidian, obsidian comes out, buckets go out, buckets are replaced. So what is happening is that each one of these fluid tanks has configuration on the side facing the alchemic chemistry set to output automatically to it. So if you put a bucket in this slot, it will fill it with water and then put it in the alchemic chemistry set. And of course, similarly for the lava side of things. On the back end of these item conduits here tell it to take out the empty buckets, and it's on a round robin so that one will go this way and one will go that way. And then from the bottom, it's telling it to take out the obsidian and to place it into this chest. And so now it is stopped, of course, because this tank is out of lava. So it's not completely automatic because I have, or at least I haven't figured out a way to fill this tank up with lava. What I did was I just went into the Nether and filled up 3 of these pressurized fluid tanks with lava. But I will attempt to, I don't know how I would do it is the problem of filling a tank with lava. But I can show you. I will take out this tank here, goes away, put in that tank there. Hopefully all of the connections are essentially the same. As you can see, it's full. And if I put a bucket in here, that should start the process. And looking over here, looks like I do have an issue. I don't have, because this one isn't configured. So configure this to output to push. There we go. And I got a bucket of water there, unfortunately. So it's not a perfect system because it just isn't. I don't know how else to say it. Sometimes I'll get 2 buckets of lava or 2 buckets of water. But for the most part, once it gets going, it seems to work just fine. But sometimes just getting it going takes a little bit of effort, as you can see. But it's going, and it will just use up a bucket every time it goes through. So at least this way I can make, 32 pieces of obsidian per pressurized fluid tank. I'd have to see if there's a way to put lava into this tank, and I'm not sure if there's a way to do that because there's not really a way to... I can generate lava with the Serenade of the Nether, which I'm doing over here with these thermal lilies, which power my regeneration amulet. But I don't know how to get that lava into a bucket with the mods I have installed. So I don't have the, what is it called? The autonomous activator, I think maybe that's from thermal expansion. So I'm not entirely sure, but let me look into things and see what I can figure out. If nothing else, I can always just travel back and forth to the Nether, filling up these pressurized fluid tanks. Well, I've tried a bunch of different things, and this is going to be the best setup that I could come up with the mods I have available. I've put a Serenade of the Nether right next to the tank, and so I can fill up the tank by just grabbing lava out of here and putting it into the tank like so. Just constantly have to come back up here and keep it refilled. I haven't been able to find a way to automatically put liquids into the tank. It just doesn't seem to work that way. So sadly, this is the only way that I could figure out to do it. But at least I have a way now of creating obsidian, which, isn't great. I can probably gather more obsidian by going out and mining it than I can from this process, because the alchemic chemistry set is fairly slow. Maybe I'll look and see if there's a way to speed up the chemistry set. I really don't know, but perhaps there is. So unfortunately, turns out I couldn't figure out any kind of way to automate creating this obsidian. Even using various rituals through blood magic, they still require, having buckets filled with the liquid, and I couldn't find any way to do that automatically, as I mentioned. So, barring that, I just did this. Serenade of the Nether with a source block of water right over it means it just constantly creates obsidian, and I can sit here and mine it. Yeah, it's not an automated system, but it is faster than the system I created up there. So I'm back to trying to work out the kinks in my wither spawner. So I've made the room bigger. It took me a long time to collect enough obsidian to make this reinforced obsidian. But a couple of my viewers, Paul Ruhi66 and Jocko Gaming, mentioned that what I might be able to do to prevent the wither from breaking the spawner and the cables is to surround them with this reinforced obsidian. So it will have the downside of reducing the spawning space that I have available, but it should, since that's unbreakable, hopefully it will keep the stuff inside it from breaking as well.
I'm not sure about it, so I'm going to try it out. Let me finish fleshing out the rest of this room. Alright, so this is the finished, completed room. And let me spawn the wither and see if it actually works. I'm going to ready my bound blade, do a little bit more damage. Okay, the wither is in there. And then I'm going to jump in and block up this hole. Where is he at? There he is. And go get him. Yeah, piece of cake. And another star. Great. So let's... Oh, you know what? I see that it broke. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. It did break still. Okay, well, that's a bummer in itself. What's happening is that even though these blocks are not destroyable, this reinforced obsidian, what is apparently happening is that it's not protecting anything outside of those blocks, so the damage itself can get through them. So, well, that's a bummer, but it's the way it goes sometimes. It just doesn't always work the way you would like it to. Hopefully I won't have too many more times where I need to summon a wither. And the reason that I wanted another Nether star is that it is the final reagent you can use in the Mark of the Falling Tower. So I've once again rebuilt my entire ritual. I placed a block up there to hopefully stop the meteor ball from falling and hitting. And I just need to take off my magnet ring, like so. And so then we can drop the Nether star on there, and activation crystal. I think I put it away in my ender pouch. So where are you at? There you are. Activation crystal, and activate it. So it's pulled it out, and I'll just run away a little bit, and it should come down and hit that block. And yeah, there it is. Okay, so let's fly up to that. Whoa. So you can see here I've got, once again, I've got diamond ore, emerald ore, and looks like some nether quartz. So I'm going to go ahead and mine this up. Okay, and so on that haul, I ended up with 31 diamond ore blocks, 18 emerald ore blocks, and 40 nether quartz ore blocks, in addition to getting some iron and some quartz from the geonax that spawn during mining. So there you have it. There's 4 different reagents you can use from low tier to top, and the low tier one generates the largest size thing, and the upper tier, the nether star, generates the lowest size. But you also get different grades of ores. You can see in the big one here, there's coal and iron. Remember, in the second tier one, we got all of this stuff: redstone, lapis, gold, iron, copper, tin, etc. Then in the third one, we got diamond and emerald. This one is obviously better than, as far as getting diamond and emerald, than the final tier. The final tier also gave us nether quartz. And so you can use this to generate, obviously, a ball of ore that you might want to mine up or have. Probably a way to automate it if we really worked at it. Because, and then you would want to decide which tier you want to use depending on what types of ores you're trying to obtain, of course. But I'm not going to bother with automating this, primarily because the system I currently have with Botania providing me with ores and then the drone mining it up is working just fine for me. I don't really need to replace that system with another system. I think it works just fine as it is. The reason I was looking at the Mark of the Falling Tower is because of this. Silicon ore. Silicon ore is used in the Galacticraft mod, and it smelts into silicon, which is then used as a component in various machinery within that mod. This system here is not generating any silicon ore at all. None at all. And the reason I summoned those meteors with the ritual, the Mark of the Falling Tower, is I wanted to see if any of those with the reagents would generate that silicon ore, and as I've just seen, it does not. So it would appear that the only way to get silicon ore is by actually going and mining for it. And so I happened to find these pieces of silicon ore that are in here now. There's only 6. I happened to find those when I was out mining for Obsidian before I created the system I'm using now to get Obsidian. So it's kind of a bummer for me to have to go searching for silicon, because it will not be, oops, where's that? It will not be easy for me to find this after all. There's no way I can pinpoint it, and just going for general mining is all I'm going to be able to do. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any comments, please leave them for me in the comment section below. If you have questions, I'll be happy to try to answer anything to the best of my ability. But leave a comment as well, just telling me what you think of what I did in this episode, and what you think of the series, what you think of anything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. A little bit of an addendum, everybody. I was editing the video, pretty much thought I was done with it, and while I was editing, it just came into it just hit me all of a sudden while editing. Here's the problem. Modded Minecraft has so many ability to do things. There's so many mods that allow you to do different things. There are mods that have machinery that will create obsidian. I know Thermal Expansion has them. I know Rotary Craft has them. And I'm pretty sure others do as well. And sometimes when you play modded Minecraft, your mind can get so fixated on the simple concept that there must be some way to make obsidian using mods. There's got to be some way to do it using just mods. And it causes me to forget sometimes basic Minecraft stuff. So I'm editing the video, what I'd recorded before, which you've already watched, and in part of there I said, there's no way I can think of to put lava into a bucket. And while I was editing that and listening to it, I thought to myself, what do you think a dispenser does, you big doofus? A dispenser, basic Minecraft, has nothing to do with mods, but if you put a bucket in a dispenser, aim it at some lava, and give it a redstone signal, it will put the lava into the bucket. This is basic Minecraft, has nothing to do with mods. And I couldn't think of it while I was actually recording, but in editing, just listening to myself say that I had no way of putting lava into a bucket, and man, did I feel silly. So here is the new and improved, updated, automatic obsidian generator, if you will. Now, it seems to have gotten a little bit stuck, and that is going to happen every once in a while. I'm not sure what I can or can't do about it, but I will figure it out if I can. But essentially, the way this works is, of course, water bucket and a lava bucket will create obsidian in the alchemic chemistry set. There it goes. And there you can see I've got a lava and another water bucket back. It should generate another piece of obsidian right there, and lava and water again. And so what happens is, how do I do this? Okay, so the alchemic chemistry set, so there is a item conduit attached to it which draws out the obsidian and places it into this chest. When this chest has something in it, this turns on this comparator, and this comparator sends a redstone signal through to this item conduit system, which basically says to take whatever's in this chest and put it over here. And it also sends a signal to this dispenser, which is aimed at the lava source block created by a Serenade of the Nether. And so the idea is, and the rest of it is basically the same as what I showed before, so that this item conduit takes out empty buckets, puts one here hopefully and one into here, then the obsidian comes out and that will cause that to make that bucket become filled with lava, and then it will come back out and into the alchemic chemistry set. And as you can see, it is working. It does automatically generate obsidian. I don't know why I had to have 2 buckets in there, but that just might be the way that it works. No big deal, no problem. As you can see, the empty buckets, once it gets made into the obsidian, like that, the empty buckets go out, a bucket of lava and a bucket of water come in, and the process starts itself over again. And so there you have it. This system is probably not very well optimized. I just kind of threw it together when I realized that I could use a dispenser. And so there you go. Sometimes the moral of the story, I suppose, is don't get too fixated with mods. Mods are great and they're fun, and I enjoy the heck out of them. As you probably know if you watch any of my series, I enjoy mods. But it's easy to forget the basic stuff when you get so inundated with mods. But anyway, there you go. Automatic obsidian generation. I don't have to do a thing except sit back. Probably have to come check on it every once in a while because of the whole bucket thing. That's a little bit iffy, I'm sure. But for the most part, everything working the way that it should.